in the wake of everything that's been happening in the past 2 weeks, the question is, how do we remember how capable we are as human beings? And I think Holly's shirt maybe says it all. It's time for ideas.
Big ideas.
Big ideas, new ideas.
New ideas.
New ideas. So how do we remember that we're capable? How do we not let ourselves get all drug into the grief and the anger and the obsession about watching, I know for me, sometimes watching too much and taking care of ourselves. So once again, it comes back to our practices of, I want to say our practices of community too, which is what we miss so much about not being able to have live classes where we hug each other, we can look into each other's eyes, and as teachers, we can respond quickly to what we see going on in the group. So this is what we have right now, though, but it's still a community. It's a community of people who are very interested in learning ways to feed and nurture their own bodies. And so today our theme is about spaciousness, about making space. And so we're going to do some things today that allow us to drop in, drop down, and we're making space in, once again, our hearts, minds, and our spirits. And as we've been talking the last couple of weeks, that those three parts of us are interrelated, and what happens in one affects the other. And that we also have three brains, the brain in our head, the brain in our heart, and our gut brain, and they communicate with each other. And so we'd like to start once again with the drum. And if you're sitting, you can lie down or sit, it doesn't matter. Just put one hand on over your heart. And Casey will bring us into a heart-centering drumming.
Now make space for your breath. Open your breath. Paying attention to how you're breathing, and how it feels when the breath comes in. And then how it feels when the breath goes out. Notice how the body expands in the intake. And then lets go and releases and contracts as you breathe out. Noticing your breath helps you become more present. And today we're going to try to make space, not only for our breath, but also for our heart, our heartbeat, and our feelings. And making space for our bodies to feel large instead of maybe compacted So we feel that our bodies are expanding and releasing as we breathe, taking it in and letting it out.
So we're going to begin with a Feldenkrais lesson that's about the breath. So I'd like everybody to make themselves comfortable on the floor. And feel your contact with the floor. For those who might watch this later and sit in a chair, same thing, feel your contact, your weightedness, your feet, your pelvis, your upper back, back of your head on the floor. And to draw us into this, I would like everybody to open their hands and place the palm of your right hand over your right eye and your left hand over your left eye. And if you crisscross them a little bit on your forehead, you will pretty much make your whole visual field dark, letting no light in. And so as you look into this darkness, notice what it is you see. You see different kind of patterns of different colors. And what you're looking for is a place somewhere in your visual field where there is a particular velvety soft darkness. And when you see that, know that that's a place where your nervous system is very calm and relaxed, and you are working in your parasympathetic system rather than the fight or flight system. So much of what we hear and see, images on the news, puts us into the fight and flight category. It's very important on a frequent basis, daily, to rest your eyes. We've seen too much with our eyes. We've seen things we thought we would never see. And so let our eyes be nurtured. Let your breath be free. And know that you are bringing healing energy to your eyes, which will prepare you to find space. This is something you can do anywhere, any place, especially if you've been on the computer too much and your eyes are feeling strained. Attend to that right away. And then take your hands away and put one hand on your lower belly and the other hand on your upper chest over your heart. And let your elbows relax as much as possible towards the floor. Rest on the floor if you can. And all you're doing in the beginning is just monitoring the movement in your stomach and your upper chest as you breathe in and breathe out. Let your breath breathe you, instead of you deciding how you're going to breathe, because there's no right or wrong way to breathe. But our image here is space. So as you breathe, and as we do this lesson, the the whole point is that you're allowing the physical structure of your body, your rib case, your abdominal area, your spine, you're inviting all that to soften in the sense that it can expand. And as it expands, there's more room for your lungs to breathe. You've been hearing the horror of I can't breathe. And let's counter that by inviting our own structure, our own internal organs, our own life body to just expand, invite breath. Be grateful that we have breath. So as you're monitoring your hand on your belly and your hand on your upper chest, are you noticing that as you inhale and exhale, there's some movement? And if you're not comfortable with your legs long at this point, you can put them in standing. So focus for a minute on the hand that's on your lower belly. And see if you can make a movement where you push that belly out. Fill it, push it out. Now you're not doing a movement so much of your pelvis, it's just figuring out how your breath, is it the inhale that pushes your belly out? Or is it the exhale? Just notice what you tried first and go with that for a little bit. Seeing if you can let your belly push out while your back still stays in contact with the floor as much as possible. So you're expanding front to back, you're expanding side to side. You put your hands for a minute on your outsides of your pelvis and just feel, is there a movement there too? And you're also expanding down into your pelvic floor and you're affecting the diaphragm itself. So you're making a lot of space in your belly. You need to do that right now because we're taking a gut punch every time we watch something on TV or hear some of the stories of what has been going on. So we want to expand this area, have freedom. And notice if you, as you were doing this, pushing your belly out, did you choose to inhale or did you choose to exhale? Whichever you chose in the first place, now experiment with doing the opposite. And then in the background, there's the hand that's over your chest. So as you push your belly out, what does that hand do? Does it sink or does it push out as well? Remember, no right or wrong answers. It's your experiment in your personal laboratory of your own body. And then take a rest. You can leave your hands where they are on your lower belly, your upper chest, or you can rest them at your sides for a minute. Maybe as you're resting, it might be a good idea to just let your head roll one direction and the other direction. Because sometimes I think of this lesson actually as a neck lesson. As you give attention to your breathing pattern, muscles release actually throughout your body. Let your head center, put your hands back, lower belly, upper chest. And now put your attention on your upper chest. And see what sort of breathing pattern do you have to use to push your upper chest outward, to expand it. And remember, the back side of you is pretty much staying on the floor. So you are increasing your depth. Increasing your depth and your width and your volume. Many of you have probably done this lesson before. It's a Feldenkrais lesson, sometimes called seesaw breathing or paradoxical breathing. And then whatever way you did with your breathing in your upper chest, say you inhale to push it out. Try now coordinating the exhale. And in the background is the hand on the belly. So as you push your chest out, what's your belly doing? And then take another rest. And as you rest, just breathe normally. But that's confusing, isn't it? Because once you start messing with your breathing pattern, you're not sure what normal is. That's why I said just let your breath breathe you. Don't think about it. It's an automatic response. We will just keep breathing if we don't think about it. But it's good from time to time during the day to check in and notice how we're breathing. Are we breathing quickly? Are we holding our breath? Are we feeling constricted? That's the time when you can do one of these little exercises. So put one hand on your lower belly, one hand on your upper chest. I'm going to describe this first before you do it. So just listen. What you're going to do is take a nice big breath in and hold it. And while you're holding it, you're going to push out your belly and then push out your upper chest. So that's why it's called seesaw breathing, because you rock back and forth. And it's not a contest to see how long you can hold your breath. So when you need to breathe again, just exhale and take in another breath. Okay, so let's try. Take in a nice big breath. Push out your stomach, chest, and you rock back and forth. You might hear the contents of your stomach rumbling around a little bit. You just had breakfast. Digestion. This exercise supports better digestion. And take a full rest. Now come back again. Maybe switch hands. Put a different hand on your belly and a different hand on your upper chest. And this time, don't hold your breath, but focus on your belly and breathe. On your in-breath, push your belly out, and on your out breath, push your upper chest out. In breath, stomach comes out. Out breath, the stomach sinks and the chest comes out. And you might feel there's more movement in the stomach than the upper chest, although some might feel the opposite. And then rest. Give your brain a couple minutes to make sense out of what you've been doing. Because what you've been doing is just messing with all the combinations of the breathing apparatus. The breathing apparatus is not just the lungs, it's all the tissue around the lungs. It has to do with the diaphragm, it has to do with the rib case, stomach muscles, and all of our habits. So you're kind of shaking up the habits, which is good. It always brings a new awareness, something fresh. Maybe it even brings a new big idea. Perfect shirt today. Okay, so now one hand on your belly, one hand on your upper chest. And this time, on your in-breath, push out your upper chest. And on your out-breath, push out your belly. You're still seesawing. It's just the opposite of what you were doing. Just get into the rhythm of it, and then you can also notice what's happening on your backside, your upper back and your lower back. They're part of it too. One of these two patterns might feel more familiar and more pleasing to you. Take another rest. Now we're going to do a part of this lesson that many of you know, Betty Williams, who used to come to the Feldenkrais classes that were actually here. And she got such a kick out of when we did this part of the lesson, because she was amazed. She didn't know it was even possible. And it made a big difference in how she continued on at that particular time, because it seems like she might have had an injury of some sort. Okay, so here it is. You're going to take your right hand and put it on your upper chest over to the right. You're going to take your left hand and put it on your lower belly over to the left. So now you're monitoring your breathing on a diagonal. So what I want you to do is breathe into your right upper lung. And then exhale. Inhale into the right upper lung and exhale. And as you breathe into the right upper lung, do you notice something that happens in the left lower belly? And then as you exhale and your right lower lung and right upper chest sinks a little bit, you notice something that happens in the left belly. There's still a seesaw going on. You feel it? So as you inhale into the chest, the belly falls a little bit. And then as you exhale from the lung, the belly pushes out. And what struck Betty is she said, I didn't ever know that you could just inhale into one side of your lung. Well, of course you don't, literally, because as you breathe in both lungs. But if you emphasize a certain place, yes, indeed, there is more air going there. Let's try it on the other side. So the left hand on the left upper chest, right hand on the right lower belly, and just play with it. Mix it up. Maybe you want to start in the belly and push it out. And the whole point is to get that seesawing, rocking motion that makes space. It makes space for you in your throat. It makes space for you in your ears. We already calmed the eyes. It makes space in your upper chest. It makes space in your stomach, your pelvis. And as we do this, I think we do recognize that we can become and remember how capable we are as human beings and how many things that we can do to change the comfort of our bodies, things that we can do to help heal our heart from all the sorrow that's been happening. And to help our mind to come up with positive ways of looking at everything. I'm going to close with one quote today, not a long poem. This is short, and it's by George Bernard Shaw. He says, we know there is intention and purpose in the universe because there is intention and purpose in us. And we are the change we want to see. Mari's up now.
Okay, if you're on the floor, stay on the floor. If you're in a chair, we can do chair too. But we'll do some standing poses also, and the chair is for balance in case you need a friend, a chair friend. But we start on the floor in cross-legged position, or your right foot in front of your left foot. You can, if you have trouble sitting in this position, sit with one leg out or both legs out. Try to sit in this called Sukha Asana or sitting pose. And we'll begin with holding our bellies, feeling that inner self, just like Judy was teaching us that our breath is our movement too. And then very gently, bring your hands up to your forehead, with the backs of your hands on the top of your forehead, and then lift, breathing in, up. And then exhale slowly down. Bringing it in, back into the center. Take a breath in as you lift. All the way up with the breath in, and then exhale and slowly down. Good. One more time, pulling the energy towards you. Breathing in, lifting. All the way up with your breath in, and then exhale, letting it down. We're going to start with a moving meditation. And this moves the center of the body so that you're opening and making space in the rib cage and in the very lower belly and upper chest. This is a beautiful morning meditation. You're just going to start by moving over towards your right and rolling all the way down. Now, if you're in a chair, this is easy. Just roll around. Breathe and roll. Breathe out, going down. Breathe in, going up. Just roll soft and gentle. Let your head fall gently around. Let your neck be free. Just feel yourself moving from the center. Deep breaths in. Exhale out. Now let's go the other way. Noticing what is moving as you're moving, gently around, breathing in and out. And then bring the chin to the chest, roll back up, lift your arms up again, making space. You're going to bring your right hand behind you and your left hand on your right knee and twist. Picking up your right hand, bring it over your head and fold forward. And roll forward. Breathe in and up. Arms come up again. Right hand on left knee, left hand behind you. And twist. Breathe in, come forward, and bring that left hand up and over. Opening the ribs, making space, and roll forward. Now just bring your hands forward and come all the way down, as far as you can come, maybe to your hands. Bring the chin to the chest and roll back up. Now we're going to do Dandasana, which is the staff pose. So you're sitting with your legs right in front of you, your feet are flexed up, your hands are at your side, and you're straightening your spine and getting your shoulders very straight. Pushing your thighs into the mat. This Dandasana is a good early morning stretch for your posture and strength in your legs. Don't forget breathing while you're in this pose. Bring up the right knee, hold it and hug it to your chest, and take the left hand and wrap it around your leg and twist all the way around. Breathe in, exhale back to center. Let that leg down. Bring the left leg up, hug it into your chest. Take the right hand up and around the knee and twist all the way around. Lifting, making space. Pull the shoulder back and breathe. And then exhale forward. Back into Dandasana. Staff pose. Now bring the heels together, pull the feet up, and put your feet together in cobbler pose. Push with your back hand so that your back is straight. Now you may have to stretch your legs out a little bit. You may have to stretch them out a lot. But what we're aiming for is the knees to be down and the feet close to the center of your body and your spine straight. This hip opener really makes space in the whole groin area and the knees. Be careful, knees. And then lift, breathe in, and do a little butterfly movement. Just up and down. And then hold on to the feet and pull yourself straight as you can, lifting the shoulders back, keeping the head level, the neck level, gently allowing the knees to soften downward. And then straighten out into Dandasana again. And give your legs a nice shake. Now bring both legs to the right and curl up into tabletop pose. In this pose, you're going to stretch your spine up, breathe in, and you're going to breathe out and bring your tongue out. Ha! So when you collapse down, breathe out. This backward cat's breath, breathing in and pulling the belly up into the spine. Exhaling and looking forward and sinking down in. You can do this in the chair. Breathing in and lifting. Breathing out and exhaling. One more time. Breathing in. And exhaling. Now curling onto the toes. Roll back. Come onto the toes. Spread your feet apart in Malasana. And then stretch up. Come into Uttanasana. Head down, hands on the floor. Pull your hands up to your shins and lift your spine halfway. Bend the knees a whole lot and lift all the way up into standing. Easy standing pose. Now you're in mountain pose. Extended mountain pose or Adhita mountain pose. Lifting and looking up, and then exhaling and bringing it back to center. Now in this next session sequence, we're going to do a flow called a vinyasa in yoga, but it's also a beautiful Tai Chi move, and it comes from the Native Americans. This is called the Teslaki morning dance. And so you'll begin with your feet together, and you lift your toes and put them back down again a few times. Just feel into your feet. Hands at your side, palms out. The first move is take your right hand and your right foot and bring it up. Turn it back over and come all the way down, gathering energy. Breathing in, pick the energy up and give it away. Then the left hand comes up and around, gathering the energy, bring it all the way up, and give it away. And then turn to your left, pulling it into your heart space, and turn to your right and push. Up again, and this time the left hand goes out on the left foot, moving it up, breathing in, exhaling it away. Slow as you can do it. Right hand, right foot comes up and around. Gather the energy up, breathe it in, exhale. Turning to the left, pull the energy to your heart. Let it fill your heart, and then give it away. Up again. This is a beautiful move for morning. Let's do it one more time. Breathing in, right foot up, around. Gather the energy and lift it up. Give it away. Left hand, left foot, bring it up. Breathe it in. Exhale it out. Turn to your left, gather the energy into your heart, and then push it out. Give it away. Bring it back to center. Left hand, left foot up. Bring it down, gather it up. And shower yourself with that earth energy. Right hand, right foot comes up, around. Gather the earth energy, bring it up, all the way up. And shower yourself with that energy. Now gather the energy from your heart center into your heart. And give it away. Back up again. Flow energy is very good for the whole system. So let's begin a little bit more of a flow from the Tai Chi exercises. And we'll do what they call the golden ball exercise. So you begin with what we call flying. Imagine you're flying, you're breathing in and lifting, and then exhaling and very softly come down. Lifting, like you have wings, and softly come down. One more time. Breathing in, making space, and exhaling down. Opening that heart center. And now gather the energy all around you and bring it into your heart center and lower it down into the earth as if you're pushing energy into your body. Breathing in, gather, pull it in, and lower. This is called sinking the chi. Breathing in, gather the energy to your heart, and sink into your leg base. And then opening the door, the hands come up to the heart center, pull back, and lower. And we move the right foot and the right hand out. And we bring our arms up. Breathe in, and then pull them together and feel that ball of energy called the golden ball. And you're creating your chi ball. So just find the energy around your chi ball. And then lift the energy out, and bring it in, and up, down. And imagine that you're holding a golden energy ball. Now let's sweep that energy ball all the way over to the right and bring it back in. Sweep it over to the right. Breathing, moving. In Qigong, it's constantly moving. Now let's go to the left. Turn your ball over and swing. And again, finding that energy ball, turning it over, lifting it up, showering yourself with that energy. And coming into what we call the lower dantian with that, with your hands, take your right hand and sweep it behind you. Pull the energy back into the center. Sweep your other hand back, into the center. Now sweep the energy up from the sky and heavens and down into the center. Up, down into the center. Now we'll do something called the 4 directions. So you're going to bring your hands to your side, palms up, feet together, and try to get your feet straight ahead. You're going to lift the energy up, your palms facing up, and then twisting to the right. And then bring them up, twisting back to center, and down again. Twisting back the other way, to the left. Bring them up. Exhaling and back to center and down again. One more time, breathing in and twist. Up. Back to center and down. Twist. Up. And exhale down. Now bring your hands out in front of you and palms facing you, then twist your hands out in front of you. And lift up, again. And And then exhale over to the right or the left and look up under. Now push onto both feet. We're making space in that side ribs. Breathing in, lifting, and back down just slightly to the left. Looking up under your arm, pushing on both feet. Now bring it back in front of you. Let go and come all the way down as far as you can and just dangle. And then breathe in, chin to chest, roll yourself back up. Bring the energy up above you. Showering yourself once again. Lower down to you. Now if you need your chair for these few balancing exercises, it's always good to practice a little bit of balancing, maybe every day. The first one will just find yourself on your feet. Feel your feet. Now step back with your right foot. Left foot in front. Keep your right foot pointing forward. And just lean until you come onto your toe. And then lean back and bring your heel up. And see if you can lean back and forth. Small earthquake. That's it, just back and forth. Now bring that foot back up to the center, and you're going to bring your hands right to your center, breathe in deeply, and then as you exhale, push the energy down, bring that right foot up, and go back and forth. Breathing. Noticing your balance as you pull your feet up, relaxing your mind and your body into the movement. Now this time, when you're picking your foot up, stretch it out to the side and then bring it back. Foot up, out to the side and bring it back. Now this time, bring it out and out to the side and lift. Bringing it up, out to the side and lift. Bringing it up, out to the side, lift, and point and flex. Point and flex. Point and flex. And bringing it back and down. Breathing in, lift, out to the side. Lift out, point and flex. Point and flex. Bringing it back and down. Take a nice deep breath in. Pull the energy back down into your center. And again, with the palms out in this mudra, bring your right foot forward, back foot straight ahead, and you're going to lift your arms up in cactus arms. Stretch forward. And come back with your knee straight, and then bend the front knee again, and bring your arms up. You'll notice the stretch in your calf muscle. Breathing, stretch back. Backward, then forward again, knee bent, and up. Bring those scapulas together in the back. Lifting the energy. One more time. And back to center. Shake it out. Give it a nice little shake and a bounce. Left foot in front, right foot in back, and make sure that back foot is on the heel, solid on the ground, and that you're straight as you can get that foot. And bend the front knee, come forward. Straighten the knee, come back. Breathing, cactus arms, knee bent. forward, out. Breathing, stretching, making space in your heart center. Hold. One more time. Breathing. And the last pose, last session, is called the swimming dragon. Your feet are a little more than hip distance apart. And you're going to push your hands one way with them folded in prayer and their head the other way. And you're going to go back and forth. Just move back and forth. Breathing. Now we're going to swim that dragon. Back and forth. Breathing as you're swimming. Now you're going to take the right hand and push it out in front of you. Backhand back, and then bring it back. Breathe, push, pull back. Let that knee bend. Push forward and back. Push forward and back. Turn all the way around and push forward with the left hand, right hand back. Knee bends, come back. Breathe. Warrior dragon. Come back to center. Now bring your feet together. This time it's a little harder, but now you've got the sequence. Same thing. You're going to bend your body one way and your head and your hands the other way. And you're going to go back and forth, just bending, stretching. Feet together. Try not to grip your toes. Forgot my music. Back and forth. Now swimming dragon. Moving into the motion as if you were swimming in water. And then back into the center. Bring your hands out to the side. And then pull them back behind you. And hold, clasp your hands behind you. Pull yourself back into a back bend. And then come forward just a little ways as you stretch your shoulders. Release your hands, bend your knees, and come up into chair pose. Separate your feet, wide chair pose. And see if you can come down into Malasana. Stretching hips centered. Pulling your shoulders back, keeping your neck straight. And then lift. Right hand up, breathing in and out. This is more difficult, but once you get it, you will feel this wonderful stretch in your hips, in your feet, and your ankles. And then come back into sitting. Sitting pose, cross-legged. If you can, in half pigeon. Or in just regular cross-legged pose. Cross-legged pose or Sukhasana, pose of ease. Good. Now very gently, Lifting the arms up again into the heavens. Pulling the energy back through the chakras into your center, into your heart space. And making space, not only in your whole body, in your heart, in your mind, in your spirit, but making space that you can take in whatever is thrown at us and we transmute it into love. There is only love, and the universe is perfect, and we have to remember that we are perfect in the universe. In yoga, we have a saying that make yourself big, but make yourself soft. Namaste.